Hey guys, so we're back with another video. I am your host Sleepy Celestial. Now guys, this is the penultimate finales of the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War or Cour 2. Now this is going to be episode 24, which is titled Too Early to Win, Too Late to Know. Now this episode, the way I broke it down is so different. The first part is going to be kind of as the history lesson of the Soul Society. The second half is going to be incorporated the fight, the beginning of the fight of the Royal Guards versus the Royal Quincy's, I would say. Yhwach has his own Royal Guards. Besides Uryu and Haschwalt, it seems like he has his own group, which is even more insane. He came prepared. So without further ado, we're gonna rewind time and look at what Ichibei said. Now, I've been taking notes of everything that Ichibei has said to Ichigo. For one, Ichibei, when he took Ichigo up in the Soul Palace, he didn't just want Ichigo to train and to go back and defend his friends and family. He wanted things even more than what it is we see now. Two, he wanted to make sure that if Ichigo is a potential candidate to someday replace the Soul King. When Ichigo was training, we saw so many flashbacks of his previous training. Now we got even more detail of Ichibei's backstory and Yhwach. So without further ado, guys, we're gonna watch episode 24. This is gonna be part 1 of episode 24, and then we're gonna have part 2, which will be coming out right after this. Also, after these episode release, right after this, we will be having the back-to-back episode 24. Once it's done, episode 25 and 26 will be combined into a full-length episode, which will cover almost an hour at least. I will give a commentary after that fight. There's so much that's about to happen in the next few minutes, guys. I hope you guys are excited. And like I said, I'm going to do this at the earliest. Like and subscribe to the channel. There is so much that's going to be happening in the next couple of months on my channel. So I encourage everybody, if you have a friend, family, subscribe to the channel. There is so much that is there for people to watch, to entertain yourselves. And I hope that you guys have an enjoyable moment as you welcome my channel into your life, and that it's important to share positivity with the way the world is chaotic. I wanted to make sure to bring such positivity, and sometimes anime and TV shows sometimes can bring the best of us to create such a positive atmosphere. So without further ado, guys, episode 24 Bleach, let's go. So I wanted to give you guys a rewind. So he said, what the hell is this? Remember, Ichigo went on a whole training, which is the Horado Sendo training. And Ichigo was getting the weight of the pressure of being a deity or a king of the souls, right? So it's a lot. The weight you feel is trying to protect in order to power of the Soul King. Remember, this is what we kept seeing. It seems like Ichigo, because he's being trained to be a candidate, it seems like he's seeing all the backstories of the previous life of the Soul King, and it seems like it shows the Soul King is like moving. It's such a creepy imagery, you see. And he got to see the original. So basically, he's capable of being a vessel of withstanding the soul. So all these powers that you're seeing, he's combining them to be. So this was the part I did not want to put in the training in the previous episode, because it was such a crucial moment that I had to make sure it become a separate part of the video to fulfill the power. Are you able to shatter? Look, Ichigo has like 4 different new irises, and the main one is like, so it seems like Ichigo's eyes is even more potent than the Soul King, because when we saw the Soul King, a glimpse of him, he had 4. Ichigo's, if he were to grow it, he has 5. This is crazy. And just to remind you, this seems like this is not a mental thing. This is even more than a mental. He's bestowing powers that could either shatter him or make him become something that even his own physical body cannot be in the physical world. So it's a lot of craziness going on. So this is going to be part 2, which officially starts the history of the Soul Society and Yhwach meeting Ichibei. Now this version of Yhwach is the Yhwach that Uetsunumaya mentioned to Ichigo, that the person that you're fighting and his power looks very similar to him when 1,000 years ago. So this was 1,000 years ago, before the invasion of the Quincy's. So we got to see the history, and the build up to it is amazing. This is it. This is the most important part of the entire Bleach Cour 2. I think this speaks 1,000 words. As the balancer of the 3 worlds, I am comprised of the Soul Society, the world of the living, and Rikomundo. So Ichibei's job is not just being the head of the royal guards. He is the balancer that withhold is basically similar to what the Zeno and the Grand Priest. The Grand Priest handles all the tasks of Zeno, but the Grand Priest himself is the father of all the angels. We could take that from 2 perspectives, black and white. The lick right, which is, it's amazing. Let us Soul Reapers worry about the world and enjoy the prosperity of your empire. A deception. You take me lightly, like I'm an Aryan who set boundaries to the peace and separating life and death. An astonishing soul has returned to me. These are the 3 worlds can find one piece. He has the irises too. Remember, he mentioned that the revelation of this part of episode 24 is that Yhwach is the true son of the Soul King. To identify the trait of the Soul King, he has the trait of the eyes, the weird eyes with the irises. He has 2 or 3. This is insane. He asks Ichibei, who was the one that found a way to break out from the primordial world, and Ichibei say, oh, the Soul King did. Then he asks him even more questions. He was like, no, you don't understand. You're still a child. Compared to Ichibei, Yhwach is still a child. Even though, and this leads to so much questions. That was Yhwach dropped off as a kid when he was born from the Soul King? How old was he when Yhwach was born, and how come the Soul King, it seems like his body was it's so much, there's so much mystery behind this right now. This is why I said this part of the chapter of the episode was such a crucial moment, because you're not just seeing Yhwach as the big bad. He has a reason. His dad got dismembered, and he's trying to figure out every time a Quincy dies, or anybody, their essence, their power, their worries, their pain, all that comes back to Yhwach. And he said that he has to live with that every day. This is crazy. Yo! What the hell? So you see it. We together with the Soul King maintains the fragile world. Oh my God. So if I got this right, the Soul King broke part of his body, almost like Exodia. If you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh, Exodia has different parts, but when you put everything together, he's unstoppable. This is the same concept where the Soul King. Let's go back to Annie Rice, which is a novel of vampires, how they explain the origin of vampires and how Akasha, which is the queen of the dam, basically had the ability to create vampires due to the blood. As she started diluting more of her blood and creating more vampires, she became like a living statue. It's similar to this pattern that the Soul King is alive, but he's also dead. He could see past, future, and present, but he can't really say that much. The only way to be protected is through the royal guards. This is some insane knowledge that is dropping right now. So Yhwach, while he revealed his eyes, well, his original eyes, from what I'm seeing, he's able to reflect, or it seems like Ichibei has the same ability, and he reflects his eyes into his eyes. And Ichibei was like, so you seen it. You seen the history that we're trying to protect. This is scary. Yo, I told you, it's all over Ichibei. Those eyes never seen. They never seen through the Soul King. So basically, this is a part of the Soul King. This is so much questions that we need to ask about. The fact that they gave us this lore and the backstory. I remember reading the manga in the past. They never gave us that much content. So the fact that they're giving it to us now, I am in awe. The fact that the Soul King's part was cut off and Ichibei is able to attach it into his body. This is some insane stuff. And from what Ichibei said, even though you have the same eyes as your father, you can't see through your father's abilities. It seems like Yhwach has a limitation when he's fighting with someone that's on his same level as him. So if his father is greater than him, of course he's not going to be able to see all of his father's technique. That's crazy. Yo. Your eyes will be closed forever, never to open until you die, the day you die. Oh my God. So Yhwach obtained the left hand of the Soul King, and I have so many videos that I'm about to make after the Cour, before we jump into Cour 3. I can't wait. So Yhwach got the left arm. Ichibei said, in return that you got the left arm, I have sealed your eyes. Until the day you die, you're not getting your eyes back. So is it... Hey guys, so we're continuing this. Like I was saying before, Yhwach says that, I told you I could see through everything. Even my eyes are similar to my father's. So the fact that Ichibei is like completely shocked from how Yhwach could still grab his arm, even though that, he's using the parts of the Soul King. And what I didn't even mention before, as I'm watching, because there's so much going on, he has something called blood vein, which a lot of Quincy's have. The fact that he's able to touch Ichibei while holding part of the Soul King, He said, I could see through everything that you're trying to do and that it's not gonna work. Whoa. Those eyes. And like I said, this goes back to the recap part. He says, even though you have your same eyes as your father, you can't truly see what the Soul King is. He's much more than what you think he is. This is so much detail and information that we need to know, because there's so much that we need to know about the Soul King, why he's stuck in a crystal, why he can't really be mobile, like why he can't really move around, and the way he talks is almost like ethereal, and that the only person that could understand him is Ichibei. Did Ichibei play a part in the Soul King dismemberment? There's so many questions that now rise of why Yhwach is attacking the royal palace. He's either trying to retain his body of his father, or that he is trying his best to put the world, I would say, right from his perspective. Yo, he's, like I said, he mentioned that to him. He said that I will give you the part of the Soul King, the left hand, but in return I will shut your eyes until the day you pass. He said, I am no longer able to see through your humiliations anymore. So he's basically not talking inside of himself, talking to his father, indicating like he can't see his humiliation of what happened. So I'm trying to now figure out, was his father always a Quincy, or was it because that through the, because we saw there was a small part of the episode of the Yhwach when he gave Uryu his blood, that from all the praise and the people, Yhwach was formed, but he had a mom. Was both his mom and his dad were gods, and that from the lineage he became one as well? There is so much questions that needs to be answers, but I can't wait for us to talk about the part 2 of this episode, because there's so much that's happening right now. But let's continue. Soul King, my father, you have become nothing. Vanish with this world. Oh my God, and grave of the 3 worlds. So guys, we're finishing part 1 just now of episode 24. I will see you guys for episode 24 part 2, which starts the chronological battle of the Quincy's versus the royal guards of the royal palace. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.